life. Don't you dare. Feminine ladies, you have to become accustomed to winning in private in order to protect yourself from jealous, envious women. Watch how you move. But first, like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. As feminine ladies, as more confident, leveled up, more focused women, as you become more mature, as you elevate spiritually, mentally, physically, you're feeling good about yourself, no doubt you're going to start moving in different ways. The way you used to be, you're no longer going to be. You're going to start speaking, thinking, and acting differently. But you see, the thing about that, the people around you may not change. And there have been so many cases where women accomplish great things. They're opening up beauty salons. They're opening up nail salons. They're becoming coaches. They're opening their own businesses. They're going back to school. They're doing all these things. They're accomplishing things financially. Women are succeeding in so many areas of life. And as much as we hear about women's empowerment, what I'm doing, I consider women's empowerment, but more in the femininity realm. But you hear a lot about women's empowerment, but what you don't see is that among those very women, there are women who do not like seeing other women do better. They don't like seeing other women speak confidently and talk about their lives and how well they're doing. And because of that, as a wise feminine woman, you have to be mindful of how much you're sharing with other people. I know, especially when you are a feminine woman who, you're just very kind, you just love your life, you're so sweethearted, you're so warm-hearted, and you get happy and you just want to tell people. I used to be that way. I used to be the woman that anytime, I succeeded in something, or my kids accomplished something, or me and my husband were great, I would want to shout it from the rooftops and just tell people about what's happening and what I accomplished. But what I noticed is that when I would tell certain people about the things that were happening in my life, they gave me that, oh, that's nice, or oh, okay, yeah, that's good. But anyway, their energy really wasn't what I expected it to be. And I think sometimes as women, we expect that people are going to care about our successes and hype us up and clap for us more than what they actually do. We expect more from people than what they are willing to give. And a lot of times it's not because sometimes people are jealous, but sometimes people are not successful or happy with where they are in life. And because of that, they can't celebrate you. And even if they're not happy with where they are in life, if they're your friend, if they're your family, if they truly care about you, they should have the ability to celebrate you. But because they don't, we have to watch how we move around certain people. I was telling my daughter the other day, because she wants to be a graphic designer and she wants to start her own business, and she has all of these wonderful things she wants to do. She ultimately tells me, Mom, I want to be married, but I don't have kids, and I want to be rich. She's telling me all this stuff. And I told her, you shouldn't aim to be rich. Nothing wrong with being wealthy. But number one, whatever you like to do, you put things in place that are going to help you accomplish that goal. But number two, I told her, I said, don't brag about what you do to other people. Don't tell other people about what you're doing. Not even people you consider your closest friend, especially if that friend is a woman. And it's unfortunate that we have to think that way as women, but I can tell you that sometimes as women, other women are our biggest haters, our biggest enemy. Many women have that snarky, catty, they just have to be smart in some way. They really don't know how to be happy for another woman. And I think for some cultures, certain cultures, we've kind of been programmed to put down our own. We've been programmed to not want the best. It's like they want to see you eat, just not as good as them. And when you have that kind of warped mentality, that's not really the kind of person you want to be around. You don't want to be around people who rather see you broken, and they can be there for you when you're crying, when you're down, when you're depressed. Everybody needs that, but you also need somebody that you can celebrate with too. And unfortunately, there's been so many cases where women think they have friends around them when actually they have vultures. I've spoken about this topic many times because I believe that as women, this is truly something we have to be on the lookout for, especially when you are a woman trying to do great things for her life. You really have to be mindful of the type of women that you have around you. We see examples in history of women. Their downfall came from trusting the wrong woman, from confiding in the wrong woman. The first person that comes to mind for me is Selena. Her road manager, I believe it was just her manager. She thought that she was her biggest supporter. She was there with her on over every road trip. She was there to support her, encourage her. I've heard that she would always give her, they have decent conversations. She's the very woman that took her down. And that's so sad, because you don't want to be the type of woman that feels like you have to keep your guard up constantly. You don't want to be the type of woman that feels like, I can't trust no women, I don't like women. You don't want to be that way. However, you have to have a balance to know when you have somebody around you who really doesn't mean you any good. So I say all this to say that when you begin to level up in your life, when you start succeeding in the areas in which you aim to succeed, as much as you would like to tell the women in your circle what you're doing, don't. Especially when that thing is brand new. For me, I don't tell anybody anything about what I'm doing until after it's done. And then even then, the work speaks for itself. People don't have to know the process of what you're doing or what you plan to do. Just let your work speak for itself. People will see that you're moving different, that you're acting different, that you might be living different. You don't necessarily have to tell them every little thing that you're doing. But we live in this day and age where people need to flex on everybody. I got to show them I got the best car, I got the best house, I got, we're going on these trips, we're doing this and that. You can do all those things, just don't tell nobody about it. You don't have to tell anybody. People will see you, and it's something about being a woman that is mysterious, who has quiet successes, who just lives her life freely, not worrying about who sees what she's doing. When you're a more confident, feminine, leveled up woman, you're not doing everything for show. You're not living your life for show. If people see it, which undoubtedly they will, because if you're living a life that you love, that's going to show, because your light's going to be shining out in the world. But you don't have to let people know, my husband just got a new job. We just moved to this neighborhood. I just started this business. Just let people see. Let the work speak for itself. So as women, don't feel like, you have to have diarrhea of the mouth as soon as you accomplish something, because it is not safe for you to do so in this climate of jealousy, envy, hatred, and foolishness that we're absolutely seeing. And you would think that some people, if you grew up with them from childhood, or your best cousin, y'all grew up together, you're more like sisters, you would think that those type of people, and of course this goes without saying, it's not everybody, but you would think that you could confide in them. Sometimes you can, but I can tell you, sometimes it's not what people say. You have to read people's body language. If they feel uncomfortable in your environment, if they feel uncomfortable being around someone, being around you, you're living a more quiet, peaceful life. You're doing regular things like having dinner with your family all together. You're shopping with your husband. Some people can't handle that because they have purity chaos in their lives. And what a lot of people don't understand, that you're not doing anything wrong by living your life. But sometimes you have people, and I'm just being open and honest with you, you got people who are so wicked, so toxic, they're not accustomed to peace, that when you say, I'm not going to go out with you all. Me and my husband, we're doing this. They'll actually try to convince you that there's something wrong with you spending so much time with your husband. I'm not saying that it's not okay for you to have girl time and to spend time with friends and family, but if you enjoy being with your man, don't let somebody make you feel like, oh, you're too clingy. Why this? Why that? When women speak that way, and that's another sign that a woman is displaying jealousy and envy against you, when she doesn't want you to spend that much time with your husband or with your fiance, she is doing that because she's alone. And a lot of times when women are alone, not for all, I have to say that on this internet that loves to be confused, but when a woman is alone, when she doesn't really have anyone, when she sees a woman in a happy, successful relationship or relatively successful relationship, she will look at that woman as if she's doing something wrong. And women like that like to pick you apart. You could be very nice. You could be very kind. Have you ever been speaking very nicely to a woman and they try to make you feel like you're corny or you're acting whatever, like there's something wrong with you because you're being kind? And women who are more jealous, they tend to be more rough, more masculine, and not just masculine, but they have that bully, savage energy, where it's like that mean bully energy, where it's like smiling is like, like you're being fake. They think everything is fake. You can tell when you're dealing with a jealous, envious, insecure woman because she thinks everything is fake. Somebody smiling is fake. Somebody having a conversation, just being kind to another human being is fake. Somebody, you like to go to the store and you like to sip tea and you like to look through TJ Maxx and Marshalls and Bath and Body and, all these different stores and look for home decor. She'll say you're bougie, you're doing too much, you're being extra, opposed to just sitting on the phone gossiping about other people's lives. Women who are insecure tend to do a lot of gossiping because they don't have anything else going on for themselves. So they got to sit on the phone and talk about what everybody else is doing, opposed to focusing on their own level up journey. I'm telling you all this to help you to stay encouraged when you decide, you know what, I don't want to be a basic woman, because on this channel, we are not basic women. We are women that have a relationship with ourselves. We know God. We have our femininity and we're living in that. We have an elevated sense of purpose. Not that we think we're better than other people, but we understand that the sky truly is the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. You can succeed at whatever you want to succeed at. Like, we're not stuck. And when you have that elevated type of mindset to women who are more insecure, to women who are more like ratchet, more ghetto, they like to just have the street mentality, but learning anything that's of substance, that's going to actually help them with their self-development, they frown upon those kind of things. And you, as a leveled up, feminine, confident woman, you have to not let that distract you from doing what you're doing as a woman. Because if you allow someone